having a laugh, which gets me to ask you, how did Stomp manage to incorporate choreography into pure rhythm and beats? I mean, of course, it adds to the beauty of the show, but still, how is that possible?
Right?
Dancing and pure beats. Of course, now it's possible because you made it, but at first, I don't think it was possible.
I think it's a lot to do as well with you know, the diversity of the skills of the people that are involved. Because there are people, you know, with dance backgrounds more so, people with drumming backgrounds more so, people with acting backgrounds more so, you know, various different kind of backgrounds, and you know, I would suppose that, you know, that's a big part of what helps to kind of keep things, you know what I mean, you know, it's also different flavors.
I think it's also about what we're using. If we're using the prop that if we're using a kitchen sink, you've got to use it in that way. If we're using plungers, it's got to be used, you know, you've got to be low to the ground. So it's about the prop first, really, in a way.
And it forces you to actually do it.
Exactly. It dictates how you would move.
Yeah, okay. If you're using a broom, you're going to sweep with it, and that's what you do, and that's how we make the music with it. So the fun, it's really back to basics, and the further you can get back to those basics, the better it becomes, really, because the truer it becomes to the music that you're performing as well. So.
You stomp with every single normal and abnormal object I've ever thought of. I mean, if you go research, seriously, I mean,
I'm sure there's a couple more weird ones.
Afterwards. But of course, I'll sit with you afterwards and know what they are. Anyways, so yeah, so basically, I think that's
the late night edition, I think.
So I understand. I read. I was just researching, and I found that like bananas. And let me. I have them really here. I was like, what? Bananas, lids. Okay, fine. Matchboxes and sand and water.
Yes.
How could you stomp with sand and water? And bananas. I'm really wondering. How could that go?
You know, I mean, surely, I mean, sand dancing, does that not originate from where we are right now?
Surely. I would have thought so, yeah.
I mean, or maybe I'm completely wrong, but certainly...
surrounded by desert. It's probably old-fashioned, but...
No, it's okay. So, my question is, to each and every one of you personally, which was the weirdest object that you either stomped with or you ever considered stomping with?
That's an odd one.
A ship.
Huh?
For a charity thing, we played a ship. An actual ship.
How could you stomp a ship?
Hanging off the side. Like, there's a part in the show where we hang on the set and play and swing on it.
Oh, interesting.
And it was put forward as an idea to play a ship.
Wow.
And that was how we ended up, swinging off and playing a ship. That's pretty weird, and it's not one we've sort of ever since done within a theatre. So no, that was a bit of a one-off.
Of course, because I bet it was amazing. I mean, it's very crazy. That's the least I can describe it. Interesting is another way of saying it.
Exactly, or both.
Or both. You?
Well, for me, it's
for you personally. I mean, even outside the
personally,
show.
but like everything in the show for me was weird because it's the first time you ever play a broom or a kitchen sink or a banana peel. So it's weird in a good and interesting and inspiring way, but everything I can't pick like one
you
thing.
Not even personally, not even you were sitting somewhere and you was like, you know what, I can take this thing.
That's a really difficult question, because that's almost like saying what's your favourite routine, and that really changes from night to night. Sometimes using a broom might be brilliant, and then the next night it might be Zippos. You know, using a Zippo lighter that's the one because there's a lot of dynamics in the show as well. So you can kind of depends on your mood as well a little bit, I think.
Well, you said previously, I think every night is different and every performance is different. So I think that every instrument is different in every performance. Yeah. Any special preferences here or any weird ideas? I understand.
Why are you pointing to me?
You like the weird angle, don't you? You like the weird angle.
He likes the weird
I'm a
angle.
curious person.
Okay, the weirdest thing is playing a nostril hair.
What?
He wanted weird.
You actually did it?
No, of course not. But you wanted something weird, so I was trying to think of the most obscure thing to say to you. No, I don't know. I mean, it's like Paul says, you know, in the show, how would you ordinarily, you know, ever play a broom before or play a Zippo lighter before? So everything is a little bit kind of obscure when you first start. So
in itself.
Yeah, totally. But I might try the nostril hair thing. Just
you might have to grow it first.
Well, I think in the show the weirdest thing for me is playing the pipe, the radiator, you know, the things we get on.
Yeah.
That's, for me, the first weeks was really weird.
Okay.
You know, it's like, what the... Yeah, that was the weirdest.
Okay.
I guess it would have to be the kitchen sink. I'm used to washing in sinks. Yes, so that was a revelation. Yes, play the kitchen sink.
Also,
The kitchen sink was a revelation.
well, the kitchen sink is one of those kind of classic ones that when the show first started, and we're using brooms, dustbins, our hands and feet matchboxes, etc. And I don't know if there's a phrase that you're familiar with, but in England or Britain, there's a phrase that say you brought a lot to the table. Say you went and you say, oh, you've brought everything bar the kitchen sink.
Yeah,
so it's the one thing that's missing. So when we were using all this various shit, you know, people were like, why are they using that?
You mean stuff?
Stuff, I said. Stuff, I said.
Stuff we used.
Basically, it just seemed like the logical thing to do. Well, we have to have a kitchen sink in there, you know, because everything bar.
Yeah.
And then it was there.
That was there.
Yeah.